Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adrian, and today I'm giving an update about my Meisner 2 class, my acting class. So, I'm in month 2 now. I started June 1st. When I'm recording this, it's July 8th. Yeah. So, how is this class going? I love it. I love being there. It is really intense, though, because it's extremely vulnerable. So, that's interesting. But It's it's nice. I guess it's cathartic. It's a lot though. It is a little bit exhausting to go to class and just cry and watch everybody else cry, especially because I'm like a really strong empath, and so it's like it's not only like when I'm up there crying and doing the exercise, it's also when everybody else is crying, I'm feeling it every single time. So that can be a lot. It's really it's nice though, and it's good at the same time because okay, anyway, I had to stop that video because somebody parked like facing me and I really didn't like that. So yeah, back to talking about my acting class. Okay, and yeah, there's still somebody else parked over there, but at least they're not facing me. Anyway, my acting class. I don't know if the last video I made talking about my class was before I started Meisner 2 or if I'd started it already. I don't remember. But if I haven't talked about starting the class, I guess I'll talk about that now. And if I did, if I already talked about this, my bad. But starting the new class was like an adjustment for me because it's like, okay, new new teacher, new studio because there's like two studios in this location, so we're in the other one. Then like so it's a different one than the first class that I took. And then it's mostly the same people that I took Meisner 1 with, but then there's some new people that I hadn't met yet that are most of them retaking the class. One person just like took a break between taking the first one and the second one. So it's like and they're great, right? But it's like it's kind of like a lot at first because especially with this class, it's like you're starting at 100, right? In the first class we took, you're slowly building up to this, and so it's kind of it helpful for creating that like emotional safety with the group as a whole. But then you get into Meisner 2 and you're kind of like starting at 100, and there are and we're still building on it, but it's already like, okay, well, right away you're being emotionally vulnerable, and then there are new people in the class that I haven't gotten to know yet, and so it's a little bit scary. It feels better now, more time has passed, but that was like an adjustment for me. But at this point I am feeling much better with that, more comfortable, I guess. As comfortable as I can be doing this because it's a risk every single time. That's why we're always being told to reward ourselves for the risks we take. So that's always like part of our homework, rewarding ourselves. And it's not about like reward yourself because you think you did good or whatever, but it's like reward yourself for taking the risk because you're going into it we're experimenting. We're being open and vulnerable, and we don't really know what the result is going to be. So it's a risk. And so the reward is for taking that risk. But yeah, so we're working right now with, well, I guess they're like, we were given like a collection of poems, and we had to, well, we picked like our top six, and then our teacher chose for us which one we would be working with for this semester. And so we're currently, the thing that we're working on right now is basically infusing our pieces with meaning. So we have like our personal imaginary circumstance that we create, and we're kind of like we're doing this exercise where like we're kind of like putting those together. Like they're like separate things, but they're kind of becoming the same. We're just creating personal meaning, so that ultimately when we're, I guess, I'm assuming we're going to be performing these at some point, so that they have our personal meaning infused into them. And so it's like we we are becoming the character. But he's like, there is no character. It's like an illusion. There is no character, and just like you just become that. You are that. And so it's really fascinating, and it's great, and it's really intense. And so it's like a really simple, right? But it's really difficult. It's actually like extremely difficult in the sense of being like you have to be so vulnerable and open, which is scary. And most people are not great at that. But it's really, and so it's also great in that aspect because it's like just getting to be surrounded by people who are also, you know, deeply sensitive and artistic, creative, expressive people. And it's like here you are encouraged for your emotional vulnerability, whereas most of the world outside is shaming you for having emotions and being sensitive. So it's like really nice to be in an environment where you are embraced for that instead of like ridiculed and stuff. So that's really great. But yeah, it is intense, but it's really magical. So it's like it's difficult, but I am having a great time. And it also just like helps in life too. Just going to class every week and being so present and just strengthening my ability to be very in the moment and to let go of like the logical critical mind. Like, yeah, your logic's always going to be in there somewhere, but to like let go of having trying to have so much control over everything all the time is nice. And when you allow it, it translates over into your life as well, and you become better at being present, and you just want to be present more often. I'm still not the best at it. I'll be real. Working on it. I could still be present more often than I am. But yeah, that's great. And I also know, I don't know, kind of a side tangent. I don't know if you've paid attention, you know that I'm like this and into this kind of stuff. But like, also, I think with this and, talking about being more present and just having that ability to be more present and more often, that also translates over into, I mean, I think there's a few other things that I think are the reason why I'm having this, but I'm lucid dreaming more often than ever before in my life. And that has been very interesting. That has been very interesting. And I'm trying to navigate that. I don't know, maybe I could low key, I don't know if I could make a whole video about it. Maybe I will. Lucid dreaming, for if anyone is interested in that. But I've been having a lot of lucid dreams, meaning like I go to sleep and I'm dreaming and I become aware of the fact that I am dreaming. But it's really interesting because I think there are like fears that I'm working through, And so the thing about lucid dreaming is like you have to be very in control of your mind and your emotions because that's going to determine how your dreams are going. So if you give into fear, your dreams are going to get really scary, and it's worse when you're aware of the fact that you're dreaming, and it like turns into a nightmare. Like it's actually terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying. So that's interesting, but it's not always they don't always turn scary because sometimes I'm able to be chill and it's like okay, I'm dreaming. I'm just going to like explore and see what's up and be chill. But then as soon as I get nervous, it's like, and the thing about it is like, it's crazy because I'm finding it hard leaving these dreams. Sorry, this seems so like random and unrelated, except it is related. Okay, it is related. It is. Maybe you don't understand how it's related, but it's related. Okay, I swear. Because I was talking, yeah, you see how, because I was talking about presence and then I'm talking about lucid dreaming because the more present you are in your life, the easier it is to lucid dream. And so that's the experience here. What was I saying though? Oh, it's been hard to leave the dreams. Okay, like I can remember the first lucid dreams that I ever had, they would end really quickly because it'd be like, oh, I'm dreaming, and then oh, immediately wake up. And then I've lucid dreamed and like been able to leave at moments where I'm like, oh, I'm getting scared, time to go, let me get out of here, and I've been able to do that. But then recently, it's like they just keep going, and I'm trying to tell myself to wake up, but I'm not waking up, and it's stressing me out. But it's also like interesting. It's interesting. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird, really interesting, kind of scary. Sometimes that does not help. My sleep is already not that great. I've never been really able to fall asleep easily or to stay asleep. So it doesn't help that I'm having like scary lucid dreams. It doesn't make me want to go to sleep. It kind of makes me procrastinate sleep more. So that's not helpful. Uh, but yeah, so like if you're the type of person that you're like, I would love to lucid dream, maybe be careful what you wish for. Maybe just careful. I mean, unless you know that you're really, I mean, not to be scary, because actually there are some people who make lucid dreaming seem like really, really scary, and they tell all these stories, and they're like, don't do this and all this. It's really not about that. It's not about like, oh, there are rules and like you if you do this, this terrible thing will happen. I don't think that's true. I just think that's up to your belief. So if you're telling yourself that something is going to happen, it will occur that way. But if you just are like, no, I choose not to believe that, then it's not. It's not. You're not going to have that experience. And so, like, I don't think you really need to be afraid. And, but yeah, it can be a little bit intense. Like, if you don't have control over your thoughts and emotions, the dreams will get scary. But also, like, at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt you. I just haven't quite fully figured out how to navigate that other than like just doing my best to like calm myself down. And a couple times I've been able to do that and I've been able to like manipulate the dream and control it or whatever. Like there was one dream, this is so like random. Um or like not where I thought this video was going to go, but here we are talking about lucid dreaming. But there was one where I knew that I was like starting to get afraid because there's also something about like being very much, I don't know, it's like when you become lucid in your dream and you like embody into your dream, it's like really it's weird, and just that feeling alone can be a little bit like alarming, concerning. But there was one time, yeah, I noticed myself getting afraid, and then I just like had this thought of like, okay, and me and my dream characters are going to like stretch up to the ceiling. We're gonna like get really tall. We're gonna like stretch up weirdly, um, which could also be a little bit freaky. Like to look at, like that could also be a little bit. It was a little bit scary, but also it was like it was so ridiculous that I was like, this is fine. And that was like my response to like calming myself down. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna make something really weird happen in this dream, and we're gonna grow really tall and stretchy. Yeah, so random, so weird. But yeah, and there's certain ones and certain things that came up, and like the last, well, I was lucid dreaming yesterday when I took a nap. I laid down to take a nap, and I don't know. It's like I don't know if I want to explain the dreams because it's like I'm trying to understand them and what they mean. But they've really got me thinking, and I'm like, why, why was this happening? Why was this dream character doing this? And like, why were these things said in the dream? And like, I don't know. So I'm trying to understand that. Yeah. Anyway, well, that went on a bit of a tangent there, but I just felt like yapping, trying to put out another video. It's like I need to get better at recording videos more often, posting more. So I'm going to be trying to be better about that, making videos. Yeah, I can't guarantee topics that I'm going to talk about. I mean, that's kind of like in my bio or whatever on YouTube is like, okay, yes, I'll probably talk about like autism, ADHD, and spiritual type things when I feel like it, and just whatever else. I think I said something like that, like, and whatever else I feel like talking about. But yeah, maybe I could make. See, the thing is, I made another YouTube video that was supposed to be for spiritual things. I don't know though. I'm just kind of like, it's so much to have different channels, and I just don't actually feel like doing that. And so maybe I'll just talk about whatever I want on this channel. Yeah, I'm having a moment of like hyperfixating on astrology again. I go through phases of this. I'll get really focused on looking into astrology or like gene keys or human design for a while, and then I won't touch it for a while, and then I'll be pulled back to it again. And yeah, so I'm having one of those moments. And I also asked like my friends to send me their birth information so I could look at their birth charts and study theirs too, their astrology and stuff. And so I'm doing that, and so that's really fun for me, honestly. Yeah, but I'm like, maybe I could talk about astrology. I don't know, just like random things. But yeah, it's just like weird because I'm like, I can't make certain channels because I can't guarantee that I'm going to just only talk about that. You know, I don't know. It's probably the ADHD, and it's like I get bored and like I get interested in something else, and then you know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm just rambling at this point. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you in the next video.